The storm rolled in like a malevolent entity, its dark tendrils snaking across the island's horizon. The winds howled, threatening to rip the small cottage from its foundations. Rachel huddled with her 6-year-old daughter, Emily, in the center of the room, praying the storm would pass. The island, their home for the past 3 years, had been a sanctuary, a place to escape the traumas of their past, but tonight, it felt like a trap. As the tempest raged on, the lights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. Rachel's heart sank, but she knew she had to keep Emily safe. She fumbled for the flashlight on the coffee table, her hands shaking as she turned it on. The weak beam cast eerie shadows on the walls as she ushered Emily toward the back door. They had to get to the storm shelter, a small bunker buried beneath the cottage. It was their only hope for survival. The winds were so strong they nearly knocked Rachel off her feet as she pushed Emily through the door. The girl's small body was trembling with fear, but she didn't cry. Rachel was proud of her daughter's resilience, a trait she had learned from her mother. They stumbled through the darkness, the storm raging around them like a beast. Finally, they reached the shelter, a small, cramped space with a single bed and a few supplies. Rachel locked the door behind them, her chest heaving with exhaustion. The storm passed, leaving behind an eerie silence. Rachel and Emily emerged from the shelter to find their cottage partially destroyed, the roof torn off, and debris scattered everywhere. But they were alive, and that's all that mattered. As they began to clear the wreckage, Rachel noticed a figure watching them from the trees. It was Jack, a fellow islander who had been friendly, if a bit reserved. Rachel had always been wary of him, but he had helped them in the past, and she had begun to trust him. As the days passed, Jack became a regular visitor, helping them repair the cottage and rebuild their lives. Rachel found herself growing more and more dependent on him, grateful for his kindness and expertise. But Emily was wary of Jack, and Rachel couldn't shake the feeling that her daughter was right. One day, while Jack was working on the roof, Rachel decided to investigate his past. She snuck into his cabin, searching for any clues that might explain his motives. What she found changed everything. A small notebook, hidden beneath his bed, revealed a shocking truth. Jack was not who he claimed to be. He was a former convict, on the run from the law, and he had been using their island as a hiding place. Rachel felt a wave of anger and betrayal wash over her. She had trusted him, and he had lied to her. But she knew she had to keep her discovery a secret, at least for now. She needed Jack's help to survive, and she couldn't risk driving him away. As the weeks turned into months, Rachel's distrust of Jack grew. She began to notice small things, a missing tool, a strange noise in the night, that made her wonder if he was planning to harm them. But she couldn't confront him. Not yet. She had to keep Emily safe, and that meant keeping Jack close. Finally, the day arrived when the cottage was finished, and they could start rebuilding their lives. Rachel's goal had been to create a safe haven for Emily, a place where they could heal and move on from their past, but at what cost? As they stood in their newly rebuilt cottage, Jack by their side, Rachel knew she had to make a choice. She could confront him, risk everything, and try to drive him away. Or she could keep her secret, and live with the knowledge that she had betrayed her own values. In the end, she chose the latter. She smiled, a cold, hard smile, and thanked Jack for his help. But as she looked into his eyes, she knew she would never trust him again. And she knew that she would never be able to trust anyone else either. The storm may have passed, but the damage had been done. Rachel and Emily were safe, but they would never be the same again.